According to a new report, UN peacekeepers in Haiti and around the world over the past decade or more have been bartering relief aid for sex. It has become somewhat routine in some of these countries, and it's a problem that the UN has been trying unsuccessfully to root out for more than a decade. According to that report, 480 sexual exploitation and abuse claims were made from just 2008 to 2013. 1/3 of the abuse involved minors under 18. Now, in this case, we are talking about in Haiti specifically. Obviously, Haiti during this period is recovering from a natural disaster. The UN was, to some extent, unsuccessful in dealing with outbreaks of disease and famine in Haiti. And the work to bring Haiti back to what it was before the natural disaster continues. So these sorts of exploitation claims are obviously all the more distressing in the light of that. The report found that rural women, motivated by hunger and lack of shelter, medicines, and baby care items, had transactional sexual relations with UN peacekeepers. Urban and suburban women had sex with UN workers in exchange for cell phones, laptops, perfumes, money, and church shoes. Now, in that case, I'm a little bit less distressed, I suppose, if they're bartering valuable goods and people are taking them up on it. I still don't like the power dynamic between the relief workers who are there to do charity and relief work and that they're using laptops to get sex. But especially in the case of rural women who are trying to get medicine and food for themselves and for their children, that's one of the most disgusting things that you can imagine. That they're saying that they don't have...
those women are really whores.
That's not what I meant.
Oh, that's not what you mean?
No.
Oh.
That they're saying that they don't have the resources, the medicine, the vaccines and things like that to help these people, and then they're keeping some of it to then barter for sex. That'll turn your stomach right there.
This is pretty despicable.
Yeah.
This is, all joking aside, it's like can human beings get worse? People in horrible situations, they're desperate. Females trying to get medicine for their kids. If you blow me, what the fuck?
I mean, look,
what is
the right
wrong
wing
with
has been attacking the UN for the entirety of its existence, and Fox loves to talk about, you know, how they'd love to blow up the floors of the buildings that have it and all that. That was John Bolton specifically, I believe. But anyway, but the UN does good work, especially peacekeeping work and relief work.
Well, this isn't peacekeeping. This is peace getting.
That's true. That's
right?
true.
These aren't relief workers. These are release workers. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different.
Awful. That's awful. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to be having you telling jokes at any of their events anytime soon. No, that's totally true. At the UN, yeah. That's obviously horrible. And look, I mean, there's hundreds of claims. That is terrible. But I am worried that the greater damage is, perhaps in the long run, is that countries could pull out of funding this, or that the Republicans in America could use this as a way to take the funding away. And then you're literally, that's life and death for thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, because the UN is involved in relief efforts and peacekeeping efforts around the globe year after year. And so when, I don't want to use the term bad apples, but when jackasses and perverts and rapists use their position in the UN, that is horrible because the stakes are so high. Now, in the wake of earlier claims of sexual exploitation, the UN did actually put into place policies that were attempting to get rid of it, at least making people know that they can't do this sort of thing. Apparently it didn't work, though. Of 231 people interviewed by investigators in Haiti, only 7 knew about the UN policies on sexual exploitation and abuse, which were developed in response to allegations of such acts committed by peacekeepers in multiple countries in 1990, 2002, and 2004. They're supposed to know. They should know.
So it's just basically, if we send the Secret Service down there, they start having hooker parties. We send UN workers down there, they start trading sex for medicine. Yeah. Is it just human beings are horrible? Is it just men?
Some percentage of human beings are horrible. I mean, at least in the case of the Secret Service, those were prostitutes that they were soliciting. Prostitution is available in that country. In this case, they're literally going to poor women who are on the verge of dying. Their families are on the verge of dying. And then they're using money, or in some cases clothing and things like that, to get what they want.
Is it we need more women workers at the UN distributing aid? Is that what we need?
I guess, look, at some point they were trained and told that they can't do this. They need more rigorous training. They need to be very responsive to the initial claims that this sort of thing is going on, to root it out and to get those people either taken out of the UN peacekeeping efforts altogether, or at very least put in positions where they don't have access to the actual people, the destitute people who need the aid the most. UN staff members on long missions felt that people should have romantic rights and that sexuality was a human right. The UN is supposed to be dealing with human rights. That's not the particular human right or the expression of it.
People should have that's not a romantic right to make someone
extort people.
Yeah, that's called extortion. To exploit someone's desperateness for medicine for their children for sex. That's not a romantic right.
No.
That's
no,
like,
I looked at the Bill of Rights. It's not on there.
Yeah, that's
it's not on there. Probably for the best.
Romantic rights. If you have medicine someone needs, you can make them fuck you for it.
Yeah.
That's in the bill.
You're allowed.
Number 11 on there.
Number 11. Yeah, they don't have to. You got to flip the page. People never check the second
on the back.
Yeah, you're allowed to have a relationship. Peacekeepers, like, I mean, they're giving up their lives in some cases for a few years to go off and do that work. In some cases, they are exposing themselves to potential disease, to potential death in violent conflicts. They're doing that. They should be allowed to have relationships. You're not allowed to use fucking UN medicine to get your rocks off. That should not be controversial.
No one said you couldn't have sex with people you meet in those countries.
Yeah.
I'm not against that. You just can't trade the resources we gave you to help them for sex.
No.
You just can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll
maybe we're crazy.
And you'll still get laid. I'm sure they'll still get laid. I'm sure there'll still be people wanting to buddy up with the guy who's got all the resources.
Yeah, probably the case, yes. That's how it works in America anyway.